Today we are making beef sausages and we're giving these an extra pepper kick. Heading down to the local butcher to pick up some premium beef cuts. I picked up about 2.5 kilograms and put them into the freezer for a couple of hours to harden up. For these links we're going for a 70% lean to 30% fat ratio. Now slicing this up into chunks that will fit into my mincer. Putting the meat back into the freezer while I set up the mincer. We don't want the fat and lean getting soft and smearing through the mincing plate. I'll be running this Aldi special mincer with an 8mm gauge plate on it and hoping it doesn't burn out halfway through the mincing. Meat is back out of the freezer and you can see the fat has really hardened up, so it looks good to go through the mincer. Throwing a couple of chunks in at a time and pushing that through. Into a bowl with 75 grams of corn flour, add in 10 grams of paprika, 25 grams of garlic powder, 15 grams of onion powder, 25 grams of ground pepper, 15 grams of ginger powder, 15 grams of mustard powder, and finally 45 grams of salt. Give it all a bit of a mix and make sure you make a mess on the table. Then adding all of this on top of the minced meat. Now massage all of that dry mix into the minced meat. I'm trying to speed things up here, so I pinched the wife's cake mixer to do the massaging for me. I hope she doesn't find out about this. So I forgot to add in one important ingredient. You can use water here, but I'm going for extra flavour and using 226 ml of beef stock. That's much better. Luckily I didn't blow up the mixer and this dry rub is getting a good mix in. Putting the mix into a tray and back into the freezer while I fire up the smoker. Firing up the smoker to its lowest temperature, and for my pellet smoker that is 75 degrees C or 167 degrees F. The meat is back out of the freezer and going for another pass through the mincer with the 8mm gauge plate. After all that is pushed through, giving the mix a gentle massage to help push out any air pockets. When the mix sticks to your hands like this, that's a good sign you have the perfect texture to make a sausage. To fill the casings, I'm using VEVOR's 3-litre sausage stuffer, made mostly of food grade 304 stainless steel with a silicone seal, and this unit's very easy to disassemble and clean. For a small batch sausage maker, it's a classy little outfit that punches above its weight. 2 speed options are available, and it comes with 5 stainless steel stuffing tubes. Affiliate link in the description below. Packing the meat mix tightly into the sausage stuffer, making sure to push out any air pockets trapped inside the cylinder. For these sausages we're using a 32mm natural hog casing. The ones I'm using have been cleaned and pre-tubed, making it just a little bit easier to apply onto the nozzle. Tying off the end of the casing with a simple knot, then slowly cranking the handle to start filling the casing. Keeping a little bit of tension on the casing and aiming for a consistent plumpness the whole way through the link. I'm not a master at tying links, so just twisting these off in opposite directions, one link at a time. I recommend using the lower gear on the VEVOR sausage stuffer. I tried the top one, but it's a bit slow and takes a lot of effort to turn. The bottom gear runs a whole lot smoother. Again, just applying a small amount of pressure on the casing and making sure I'm keeping a consistent thickness. Then just twisting the end of the link when I'm happy with the length. All the meat mix has been used up. Now it's time to get these into the smoker. Laying them out neatly on the top rack, and they'll be smoked for 2 hours at 75 degrees C or 167 degrees F. After 1 hour, the casings have slightly dried out and the ends are now sealed. Now it's safe to cut them into individual links. Another hour later, these links are ready to come off the smoker. Submerging all the links in cold water and adding ice to stop them cooking through any further. This will also increase the snappiness of the natural hog casing. Back inside, the links have cooled off and patted dry, and you can see how well the skin's dried out and sealed up on the ends. Leaving these uncovered overnight in the fridge to let that smoke mellow out. 24 hours later, the links are now ready to be pan fried. Using my trusty one burner on medium heat, throwing on a couple of links and turning these every couple of minutes to achieve an even cook. These turned out perfect and the colour on these are amazing. The snap from the bite is one of the best I've ever experienced. The flavour from the pepper is noticeable, but not too overwhelming. Showing off a clean cut here, the texture in these is perfect, exactly what I'm looking for when chewing on a snag. Using the corn flour worked great as a binder and helped retain a lot of that fat juice. Thanks for hanging around to the end of the video, it's very much appreciated. I'm heading back to the lab to create my next sausage recipe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.